price reduction crisis is spilling all across America as contagion sweeps the markets. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, welcome to the channel. If you're new, I want to thank you for coming. If you're returning, I want to thank you for your continued support. Before we get into today's red hot topic, I'm going to politely ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Please watch to the end for my final thought. Hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos are released. It is very important to stay close to the channel in these very tricky times. All right, folks, welcome to the channel. It's always an honor and a privilege to be with you. I hope you're all doing great. Buckle up, strap in. I got a hard-hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows and sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. And friends, are you seeing what's taking place all across the country? Price reductions are sweeping America. Contagion is kicking in, and no one is safe in this one any longer. Some areas are being absolutely hammered, just hammered. Like we've talked about, the reverse course has taken place. Booms and busts in the real estate markets. We've always had them throughout history. So anybody that thinks this time is different, I have to politely disagree. Even as a real estate guy, loves real estate, will take a hit. I have insulated myself. Acknowledge the elephant in the room. Anytime you overstimulate artificially, that's the kicker here. If it's not for the crisis, we're not even talking. This was artificial market manipulation from the top on down, and every market now in America is getting nailed. And not only America, this was a global housing bubble. Every big economy in the world got too euphoric as well. And so we're just seeing the dominoes continue to fall. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst, come out somewhere in the middle. Don't let our highs get too high, our lows get too low. Be a level-headed realist and acknowledge the elephant in the room. That way, when this thing plays out, you'll be less blindsided by it, less paralyzed by fear, and be able to operate more efficiently within it. Rich people didn't get rich, friends, buying in the height of a super bubble. They got rich buying outside the bubble. That's why I personally sat this one out. I will continue to help everybody, all my viewers, all my clients, anybody I can, whether you're buying, selling, need off the market. Real estate is very different, but one thing we know for sure, over 10 million people bought in the height of this real estate bubble right here in America, and their property values are now going the opposite direction. So what happens to these people, you ask? I'm about to tell you. They no longer own their homes. Their homes own them. They have no option now but to weather the storms. This is insane. And this is what happened in the 2008 bubble. People went upside down at the front end of the correction. It'll get into recessionary levels next. And if we're not careful, we're hitting depressionary levels. And many top economists are predicting exactly that. So we have to make up our minds for ourselves as we continue to heat map and temperature check America to see what the markets are doing, how they're behaving. Today we're going to take a look at a property off of our good friends over at Zillow, because we all have access to good old-fashioned Zillow, who used to just be a search engine where you could get an estimated value of property. And then what did Zillow wanted to do? They wanted to capitalize on the FOMO and enter the home purchasing space, and they failed in a big way. Liquidated homes at the front end of this thing. They got out. We've seen others following suit. We've seen all of their stock values for all real estate and tech companies, just all stock values across the board, for tanking, completely tanking, but none harder than the real estate industry. So today we're going to go ahead and take a look at a property, an area of the U.S. to drive our point home. Then we'll meet back here and wrap this one up. Let's get started. All right, friends, let's get started. We're headed back to the desert right here in Arizona, where it got hot. And I'm not just talking about the weather, the housing market. We're going to take a look at Tucson, Arizona today. Come on, let's get started. Now let's bring up our heat map and temperature check. How many properties are on the market going through price reductions? And no surprise here, every single one of them is now going through a price reduction. And here we go. Today's property is a newer remodel, only a couple years old, and it looks more like a retail or office than a house, but let's keep looking. Even though this is a single family home, it is right up next to what appears to be a commercial building, in fact. And while I have myself personally been to Tucson before, I have never been to this area, but this thing has a massive wall around it and not much else. And I'm not sure how long I'd want to hang out in the 120-degree heat out there in those chairs, but let's keep moving along. One of my personal rules in real estate is never buy the most expensive house in the area. I always want to get the most affordable house in the nicest area. And this one is, in fact, one of the most expensive houses in the area. They threw a bunch of money at this remodel, and in my opinion, they overbuilt it for the area. Let's get into some prices. And here we go, friends. It's coming in currently at just under $700,000, already taking its first price cut of over $40,000. Let's keep looking. And here may be the problem, friends. They just redid this house 2 years ago at the height of the bubble, and now they're stuck on the market. It's not getting very many saves, and this could be a massive issue for this property. Let's look a little further. And here we go, friends. The lower value range, according to Zillow, is $656,000. This is where they need to be. They're at $699,000 going through price cuts. In my opinion, if anybody was going to write an offer on this, it needs to be under $656,000. In fact, my guess is it needs to have a 5 in front of it for its number. And here we go. Based on its first price reduction, it's 5.5% of what it was originally listed at, and they're just getting started. My guess is this thing's going to get at least 30% below its original list price if it gets off the market at all. Let's keep looking. And yes, that does appear to be the case. You can see when it was originally sold in 2020, that's in fact where it was priced. Wait, we have another massive issue. Its property taxes have now skyrocketed since 2020, and this is something that's happening all over America too. I always like to examine a property's rent range. If you were to buy this house, you're about $4,100 a month just for your payment. Now let's see what this property might rent for. Here we go, friends. It would only rent for around $3,000 a month, but your payment would be around $4,000 a month if you were to buy this house today. Let's get back to the studio and wrap this one up. Welcome back, friends. So that's what's going on in just one of hundreds of cities and states and areas across the nation. Contagion is spreading from area to area to area. And we've talked about this. This is going to be like a wild fire that's out of control, a 5-alarm fire, friends. We got a 5-alarm fire on our hands. You have to understand this. If you're chasing the market, you are in big trouble. I talked to one of you, my subscribers recently, that we're actively helping a bunch of you guys, and thank you for letting us help us. Like I've said before, if you need to get off market or you want to buy and go try to buy some property right now, a network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. High-level people. That's what it's going to take. But you ultimately have to understand the waters you're swimming in, friends. If you chase these markets and you come on the market with properties within its value range, you're going to get stuck on the market and go through price reductions. The only way, in my opinion, for almost every area now in the nation, at least the ones that we're examining right now, that are in the first dominoes to fall, and the rest, you are not safe. This thing will sweep America. Make no mistake about that. Some will get hit harder, some will get hit first. Everybody gets hit in a real estate downturn. In this one, and I'm predicting in this one, no one is safe. Why? Because it's a bigger bubble artificially produced in a risen interest rate environment with runaway inflation, and the government's going to tame it, even if it costs the financial markets to do it. This one is crazy serious. If I was in one of these areas selling my property right now and I was serious about getting it off the market, and if I was working with a client, and I like I always say, I'm part psychologist, part salesman. I have to understand what's the motivating factor. What are we doing here? How exposed are we? We need to decide what we can do here. Is there a possibility the home can rent for its payment and make its payment through a renter? No, then we got to get you off the market now. We need to come on the market at the low end of its value range, if not under that, to get every eyeball in town that's still out there looking over to the house and create a buzz around the house. If I see no people on an open house or one, there's no urgency for me there. But if I see a handful of people in there, just did that for a client recently. Massive traffic at the house. I could feel the other people starting to understand, hey, this thing's getting some interest. I think I'm going to present an offer. That's what it takes. If you come on at the upper end of its value range, you're done. You won't even get one person through most likely. If you come on the lower end, you might get a few, but not many people are probably willing to write an offer. And if they are, it's not going to be your latest price reduction. If you come on slightly under the property's lower end of its price range, that's when you get people over at the house. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator. Somebody wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understanding the biggest housing bubble ever artificially produced in history is having its blowback. Congratulations to anybody that's been able to stick with this channel and understand it. We're going to do great things moving forward. We continue to heat map and temperature check this market. We are seeing price reductions spread across America. Buckle up and strap in. If you're on the sidelines, stay there. That's my opinion. If you want to buy right now, get the right agent. If you want to sell right now, get the right agent. Stand the waters you're swimming in. This one will play out. We now have to see how deep it goes. Correction, recession, or full-blown real estate depression. Stay tuned as I do my best to report on it and report on it for you. If you appreciate the content, I do want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Social media links are in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I know you will love. If you're interested in buying or selling real estate here in America currently, an email in the description for you as well. I have a network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It would be our honor and privilege to do so. If you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, I know you're going to love the next video in your screen at this time, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. I'll see you on the next video.